this thing on? Yeah, so there's a big difference between, I feel like it's just going to be a thing. This is how I just get to thinking about stuff, and this is my outlet. Um, I get called negative a lot. And don't get me wrong, I can be negative, but I feel like the times in which me being called negative is accurate versus the times where it's just a bad mentality calling me negative. And this is what I mean. There's a big difference between being pessimistic and being realistic. What I should have done is looked up the definitions. I don't want to take the time to do it right now. Maybe I should. All right, I'll do it. That's going to take too long. Too much weird, like, time. Anyway, the difference between pessimism and realism, here's how I think about it. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I used to love to watch the show Shark Tank because a lot of people have some pretty awesome ideas, but not all of them get bought out, and here's why. I feel like in life we should be like the sharks in that show because everybody's just going to pitch stuff to you, including this. This is essentially like a pitch. You know, I'm pitching an idea or a mentality to you, and it's up to you to decide or recognize whether it makes sense. There's not so much a decision at first. It might be a decision later. But really, it's just taking the information in and then applying it and then trying to recognize whether it's accurate or not. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to present this. I'm going to pitch this to you. But we should be like the sharks. They receive these pitches because everybody's going to come at you with what they think, just like I am right now. And there's nothing wrong with considering what people think. But we need to make sure or try our best to, we don't just need to take people for their word, you know, and again, just like this, you know, don't just take me for my word, but listen to what I have to say, consider it, and if you know enough about yourself or what you think you know about yourself to disagree immediately, then of course you have the freedom to do so. But I tried to do my best in considering new information. So hopefully this will be new information for you to consider and then later decide. But I feel like we should be like the sharks in that show because they don't just hear a good idea and jump on board immediately. But the whole time they're listening to the pitch. They're trying to piece stuff together. They're trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together in their head. They're trying to figure out, yeah, this is a good idea, but does it make sense? And in their case, it's usually just financially. Does it make sense on paper? Is it, you know, is it a sensible thing strictly within the limitations of black and white numbers? But I'm saying there's something to that principle that can be applied to maybe another aspect of life. And that's, I feel like that is how we should take in and receive information. You know, don't just trust any old thing because honestly, people will lead you astray. And before you even think it, yeah, I'm a person. Yeah, I can lead you astray. That's not my intention. I don't want to do that. I want to try and help you with something maybe. But I'm still a fallible human. So what we need to do is consider these things and try to put the pieces of the puzzle together in our head. Does this make sense? Is it an intelligent thing to invest in? Because a lot of the time, investing in something goes way beyond finances in life. You can invest in an idea. You can invest in a belief. You can invest in a job or, an occupation. You can invest in. There's so many things for us to invest in. Right now, I'm investing my time into trying to get these thoughts off of my freaking chest. So, there's just, I think, and the reason why I bring all this up is because I feel like positivity has just been blown way out of proportion. Is it a great thing? Sure, it's an amazing thing when it's sincere. But there's like this false positivity that's just sweeping the globe, it seems like, to where it doesn't matter how much you disagree with something or how much you truly don't like something. And there again, it kind of is leading us down another rabbit hole of we've become a people that pretend like stuff doesn't bother us because we're scared to death to be, for someone to think that we're mad at something or upset with something. Well, it's human. It's only human to feel a wide range of emotion. So if you go through life never being mad, then you're kind of just a robot or a delusional individual lying to yourself and other people. So, yeah, I get mad. Yeah, I get happy. Although the people closest to me may not know I can get happy. But all of that to say, there's nothing wrong with trying to be positive, but make sure that it's a sincere positivity, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a verbal piñata, with just confetti and candy just, constantly spewing forth from your mouth. Sometimes you can just look at somebody and calmly tell them a positive truth, hey, that's a great idea. Hey, I don't know. I love that jacket. I love those shoes. Hey, I know we argued about this, but I kind of think you were right. I'm glad you said that to me. Or hey, I really wish you'd listen to me right now. Because I'm trying to prevent you from doing something negative. And see, that's another thing. If it was my lifelong dream to jump in front of a bus and my best friend came to me and said, "Nah, man, please don't do that," I'm not going to turn to him and say, "Well, yo, why are you being so negative?" So, him trying to stop me from my dream of jumping in front of a bus, that's not a negative thing for him to come forth and try and stop me from, doing something that's going to do me harm eventually. And harm goes way beyond just physical, the physical. But I feel like that's where we are, when anytime somebody comes to us and tries to, care about us within disagreement, and I feel like it's all disagreement. It's like, have I said, like 1,000 times? I'm getting all riled up, but we need to consider a sincere positivity. Don't buy into this fake stuff floating around. To me, that's the epidemic. But let's seek out being truly, sincerely positive to one another. And honestly, let's also have the freaking guts to stand up and speak our mind to the people that we care about. Not necessarily strangers. Strangers are big boys and girls, and they can make their own decisions and do what they want and come and go as they please, and honestly destroy themselves if that's what they want to do. I don't wish it on anybody. I'm not advocating that, but that's just a fact of reality. I can't make your decisions for you, and likewise, you can't make mine. And that's life, and that's okay. But relationships and conversations in passing and friendships, that go beyond just agreement. You know, some of the best relationships you can have in your life are the people that you can disagree with, maybe even the most. I love my best friend to death, you know, and he's a bumbling imbecile. So, you know, we hate each other's guts. But I would like to think on some level we know that we love each other too. And it's because we've always been there for each other. And, you know, life is a pretty nasty thing. Maybe we won't always be there for each other, but that's really out of our control. I would like to think it's my intention to always be there for him, and hopefully, I would also like to think that hopefully it's his intention to always be there for me. But, you know, it's okay to disagree. And if you do disagree, it's not being negative. It's just, for some reason, we all acknowledge that everybody's different, and then yet when we meet different people, we ridicule them, we make fun of them, you know, we pick on them. And I'm not talking about like just the jovial kind of poke and fun kind of way. I'm talking about the serious, I guess, anger-infested disagreement to where all of a sudden you disagree with this person and you borderline hate them. There's something wrong with that. You know, it's okay to disagree. It's just okay. Because if we are all different, which we're so fast to admit, then guess what? We're going to disagree. So, I think I went off on a tangent, but, you know, I guess in summation, let's pursue a genuine positivity, and let's try and define what that is, or what does it look like. And I think it's different for all of us. You know, all of us can be genuinely and sincerely positive to someone else, but it's a strange thing that it's almost like positivity is a light and we're a lens. And as the light passes through that lens, it's like we're all a different color. So it comes out differently. You know, I'm not the one to really kind of jump up and down and fill your head or ears with superlatives and tell you how, you know, amazing or beautiful, or, you know, but that's just me. Some people are like that. And we also shouldn't become individuals that think that's how you have to be. You know, again, because if we are all different, guess what? Then positivity will come out differently. Now, positivity is positivity and negativity is negativity. So I'm not saying that sometimes positivity will come out negatively based off of the individual, because negativity is just negativity. Anyway, I don't want to kind of beat a dead horse here, but I think we have more to offer each other than insincere conversation and passing filled with statements that we don't mean, that are described with, you know, overwhelming superlatives. So, join me in trying to find out what sincere positivity is. What does it look like when it comes from each one of us as differing individuals? And how can I change to where when I say something, people will understand it? It's challenging. I wish you the best of luck, and I'm going to need some myself.